Perhaps.
Goody.
Anyway, good evening, yes.
Yes, it is good evening.
Yeah, anyway, as you guys can tell, this is going to be a pretty funny one.
Yeah, this one's going to be pretty comical.
This is another, Dante, you want to say, welcome to another
DNA Studios Extra,
where everything is
Extra thick.
with content. And jokes, too.
And of course, now, if you guys haven't known us by now, and you should.
And if you guys don't know who we are by now, you should.
Exactly. This is A. Goldman, a.k.a.
Mr.
Laughs a lot.
Yes.
And of course, if you don't
Junior
know
Hef.
me, yes, Junior
That's
Hef,
me,
he is Junior Hef.
This over here is Dante Lewis, or DJ Lewis, or he's also known on Spotify as Avid Mindset.
Yes.
He is the big. He is the next MC Hammer, if you will, or as I like to call him, Mr.
Extra thick.
Yeah. I sometimes also call him Mr. Extra.
Of course.
Because sometimes when you fart, it really stinks.
Yeah, I think that would be you, but that's a whole other
yeah. Anyway, that's the story for another day.
Another day, another time.
So, hey, dude, did you have anything to say, Dante? Because I know that this episode we were going to do something really interesting, and I know you had some...
Good news, everyone.
Exactly, I do. So yeah, for this particular one...
Well, before you get into that, dude, tell everyone the good news.
Yes.
Because we do have some...
Good news, everyone.
Yeah, yes we do, we do.
Yeah.
Finally, after all this time, you guys can now donate to us.
Yes, to us. Yeah, we now have donations on our main website, dna.com, dnamiblog.com. You can now go to it, and there's a donate button. You can click the donate button. It'll give you options, or you can just type in your custom amount. And you can now donate to keep our site working and keep our site running.
Yeah, you can do it once, monthly, or annually, whatever you choose.
Or yearly, there's different options you can choose. And then we do have a paid subscription coming soon. We're working on that for WordPress. So if you want to see some cool behind-the-scenes stuff
never before seen
videos, us goofing off and us doing other things besides just anime, which we might do on the... so yeah, you'll be able to get to see that. So yeah, guys. Or if you want to do see us doing a Zoom call with someone, let us know, because we might do some videos when we're on Zoom. So yeah.
You never know.
Yep.
Alrighty. So you ready to get started?
Yes, I am.
Or in this case, you ready to make the magic happen?
Oh gosh, dude. To that I'm gonna say. Yeah, I do.
Of course you do.
So dude, are you ready for some? Are you ready for some between fans? Because we might start a lot of that.
It just might be that way, actually. It just might be that way.
And if you haven't already, you should
Get over here.
and check out some of the stuff that we have, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, DNA Studios.
Yeah, so you don't miss any videos, man.
Yeah, so you don't miss any videos. Keep up with our content. Keep up with what's going on with us. And yeah, guys. And watch the extras and all the other stuff we do, right, dude?
Yep, totally.
So, dude, let's tell everybody what we're doing today.
Let's get started, shall we?
As I always like to say,
Bitch, I'm adorable.
He is, ladies. He's adorable. He's free. Hit him up anytime.
okay, hey, you are too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, me being Mr. Extra Thick.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
You never know, dude. You know, there are ladies out there who like the guys who have a little more cushion for the push, and that are they might be someone who you never know. You might find someone who is
Extra thick.
just like you.
Probably.
So anyway, dude. With that, tell everybody, because this is an interesting episode.
This one's pretty interesting. So for this one, guys, we are breaking down the top 10 female anime characters with silver hair.
Yes, we are. Yeah, and don't get the wrong idea, guys. This episode could be very controversial.
Depending on how you look at it.
Everybody has their own opinions. Everyone likes and dislikes certain characters. So don't judge us too harshly, and don't you pick on us too harshly for our opinions on different things. Like we may not like this list of characters, but some people out there might, and some of you might feel the same as we do. Who knows? You never know.
Yeah, it's like a mixed bag. You never know what you might get.
I happen to be very picky about my anime. So Dante, tell everybody what you told me before we started recording. You said I'm like a sandwich.
Yes. Well, ladies, when it comes to anime and his consumption, He's more of like a BLT, if you will. It has everything. It's got mayonnaise,
bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
Yeah, and it's stacked. You don't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his bologna sandwich opinions like some people do.
Well, dude, I will say you are right about one thing, dude. I like to stack a sandwich.
Yes.
And no, I don't mean that like that, ladies.
Yes. Basically, he likes his sandwiches
Extra thick.
and full of food. Let's put it that way.
Full
yeah,
of that
food.
meaty, delicious goodness.
Yeah.
Basically. So.
But you know what I don't like my sandwiches full of, Dante?
Yeah.
That anime, some of the anime that we're about to mention in here has. I don't like my sandwiches full of.
Friendship again.
Because otherwise, dude, if it is full of that, I just want some
Exactly.
in there.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be some of that in here.
Yeah.
All right. So silver hair. Let's get started with our number 10 pick.
Yeah.
Inner Mocha Akashiya.
Inner Mocha.
From Rosario
Well, so
Vampire.
remember that Inner Mocha does not exist in the manga. She is not a thing. She's not in the OG manga, or in the manga, because she doesn't exist.
Yeah, the outer one really isn't.
The original Mocha is the silver-haired version. She
Yeah.
is the only Mocha that exists in the original story in the manga. So keep that in mind. If you like the pink-haired character, she does not exist in the manga.
Maybe in the anime, but not in the manga. The manga's
So anyway,
totally
tell
different.
everybody why you picked this show. Was it just because of the silver-haired?
So
character?
basically, for this one, and here comes the controversy.
You don't have to
But-
read the whole thing.
No,
Dude.
no,
you
no,
can just
not
pick
really.
out parts.
Yeah,
If you guys
yeah,
want to read
so-
the article, you can go to. We have this article up. You guys should
we'll
read this
definitely make sure
article.
that
Yeah.
we have some. You can check it out
Yeah.
online. But yeah, this particular one, many fans actually remember when the show came out. The
I do.
beautiful
I
S
hated
class.
it.
Yeah. This particular one wasn't exactly the one that fans were hoping for. They were hoping for the one that was adapted fully to the manga.
So if you ask me, dude, they should have given this show the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment. if
That's
you
what
ask me.
everybody
And
said.
I think a lot of people will say that too. Like, no offense to anyone who likes the goofy, weird show that goes absolutely nowhere. No offense to you guys, all right? That's my personal opinion. It doesn't go anywhere. But
Yeah.
for people who like it, that's good. That's great. If you like it, go for it. Right? I'm not telling you not to watch it. I'm
Right.
not saying that you shouldn't watch it. But if you're someone like me who wants more meat and potatoes to your story, and you actually wanted to like
Basically, if you want a BLT.
yeah, and if you want your story to have a beginning, middle, and end, and a conclusive ending, then you're going to want something that's going to be like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where you have a beginning, middle, and end to your story. Some people don't really care. So if you're someone who doesn't care,
If you like the
hey,
goofy part,
you
go
know.
for it.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people who, like myself, and a lot of people in the fan base, like myself, and others who do actually wish that the show had gotten the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment, right?
Yeah, it may have started. It may have looked like it was going to start
Yeah.
that way, but we all know what happened. It ended up getting season
And
6 Game of
there's a
Thrones.
lot more to Rosario
Way much
Vampire
more.
in the anime anyway, in the manga anyway. I'm sorry, and the anime stinks if you ask me. There's a lot more to the manga version of Rosario. If you've ever read the manga, there's a lot more, and the main character. There's a lot more to him than you might think.
Right, Skune, there's a lot more
Skune,
to
there's a
him.
lot more. He becomes a total badass
Oh, he
in
does.
the manga, and the story actually does get really good. So yeah, look, like I said, if you're a fan of the goofy one, yeah, we're not.
Yeah, we're not going to.
We're not saying don't watch it. We're not saying we're not saying that you're bad or anything. We're just saying, hey, some people kind of want to see the show.
Some people like some
Yeah.
people like some people actually like the series Skune. Some people pretty much like the powered up Skune.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is the one from the manga.
Yeah, that's the one from the manga.
Yeah. The one from
Now, of
the one from
course,
the anime is
the
more
one
like
that we
this.
got from the one from the anime.
The one
is
from the
pretty much-
anime is more like this.
Yeah, that's the
Kind
one
of,
that we
yeah.
got, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
now,
yeah.
Now I will say this, right, and this is kind of funny, right? This is to
Yeah.
be a joke, guys. I will say this: the goofy version of the anime is more like this. Or the way I think of it is, I think of it this way. I think of it as
Oh, you think you're big?
because I'm like,
Yeah,
really,
'cause it is
guys?
kinda-
And like, because if you've ever read the manga, you're like, whoa, like the tone to the whole thing is completely different.
Oh yeah.
It's more serious and more of an action. It focuses more on the action than it does on the
Exactly.
comedy.
There's some thrill
And
aspect
there's
in
also
there.
some darker aspect to it.
Yep.
So yeah, but for the sake of this particular extras, Dante, go ahead
Yes,
and
yes.
finish your thing on silver-haired characters. And no,
Ah,
we didn't
yes,
include
of
Goku
course.
because he's not a female.
No, even though he is.
If there was an Ultra Instinct Bulma, maybe we would have put her in here. Although
Maybe.
I have a feeling with the way Monica's current characters are, that would be absolutely ridiculous, and everyone would probably just plug their ears and just want to knock her out because sometimes she gets really, really annoying, and it's just like
They're high. If you stand there long enough, there's a whole story behind that. But yeah.
But we're not going to go into that. That's a whole other podcast.
Another time, another place.
Yeah.
So now it's time for number 9, Gurren Lagann's Nia Teplin.
Ooh.
Now I've actually saw this show a while back.
I saw some of it.
Yeah, I saw it back on the Sci-Fi Channel. Back when they had
It's not bad. I didn't prefer it. I kind of like the OG Gurren Lagann, just the show.
Yeah.
I wasn't really into this one. It's weird and there's a lot of comedy and not really a story, at least from what I've seen of it. Maybe I didn't watch enough of it. I don't know, but because I don't know if I ever finished the whole thing. But yeah, it wasn't really one that I really got into.
Yeah, she's from what I've heard, she's basically the secondary female protagonist of the series, and she's also the disowned daughter of Lord Gnome.
Yeah, I didn't really quite prefer it. The OG Gurren Lagann, the show was more of my thing than usually that's the case, and they do
usually possibly.
Other stories. I will say that I think the character is in the second season, isn't she, Dante?
Yeah, she is actually.
So she's one of the main characters. I think she's just different in the other stories that they do.
And I think later on down the road, it's actually revealed that she ends up being a messenger to the anti-spiral.
Yeah, which is interesting. So yeah, I didn't really get too much into her character. I kind of probably didn't even like her character. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. But yeah, so I can't remember if I liked her or not. But
there was that one beach episode where she kind of totally made Yoko look like a fool.
Yeah, but that was because they were racing.
Yeah,
I didn't prefer that episode either, honestly.
Yeah, well, the funny episode though.
Yeah.
So yeah, and guys, hopefully if you get a chance to watch it, then definitely check it out.
I think with me, Dante, I stick to the main story most often, and I don't usually watch fillers. So I end up skipping a lot of the episode.
Right.
I notice it more.
I think for you like.
I notice it more now than ever. Like I started skipping a lot of every time there's a beach episode, I'll skip them because I'm like, this is just a waste. That's how I feel at least.
Yeah, ladies, he's more grade A beef, no fillers. that's pretty much what he is.
So I will say this, right? I will say this. The reason for that is because I think growing up with shows like Naruto and stuff that had a lot of filler. Yeah. When you are a '90s kid, you're just like, I'm sick of filler. I just want to see the main story. Like, who cares? It's the same dumb joke over and over again. You kind of get tired of it, right? You're like, hey, this is monotonous.
You kind of do in some cases. Now, the only thing,
not everybody does. Right. That's just some people, right? And that's me. That doesn't mean you guys are the same way. You guys could be way on the opposite end of that.
I think for me, when it comes to filler, if the filler for me doesn't really have the same level of energy as the main story does, then
you kind of lose it. Well, see, dude, and that's probably what's happening to me, right? I'm losing it. So that's probably why I didn't watch the Gurren Lagann stuff, the beach episodes and stuff. Why I skip them, because I'm like, well, this is just kind of goofy, and I was like, it's not really part of the main story.
Well, beach episodes
they're going off on a side tangent.
They're pretty much a distraction. That's really
exactly.
What they are.
So
all right, time for number 8. Number 8 is Shizuku Kurogane.
I like this show. I really did. I can't stress enough. Shiver of a Failed Night needs another season.
It needs a second season, y'all.
Writer, wake up if you're sleeping. Like, you really need to do another season of the show. And producers, hey, someone someone get on this.
Exactly.
Because fans have been asking for a long time, and a lot of people.
So you're probably asking hey, do you guys want a second season of this show?
Yeah, dude, of course I do. Yeah. So yeah, guys, what's the holdup? I mean, we know COVID is a problem, and probably funding is also an issue. But guys, buy the dang first season so we can get another season.
Exactly, definitely buy that merch. I think in terms of this show, yes, it's a love story. Yes, it's a romance. But it's not one of those really goofy ones.
So, okay, I'll say this, right? Shiver of a Failed Night from the beginning does get goofy. There is some goofiness.
In the beginning.
But it gets more...
But it doesn't overweight.
It does immediately... Yeah. It does immediately get serious again once you get past the first, I think it's 20 minutes of the show.
Yep.
It gets serious again, which is nice. And it goes into, you get story on the characters and backstory. And, they really get into it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then it gets more interesting as the show goes along. And they also don't bring in too many characters. Right, dude?
Yes.
So unlike some other shows, Date Alive, we're looking at you guys. What's the deal? Which might be another episode. Which might be another extras episode, right, dude?
Yeah. We're keeping our eyes on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I have my eye on you.
Yeah.
Because I am here.
Exactly.
Chris Savage, shout out to you.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, despite the little sister complex, this show's pretty cool. I actually like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, despite the little sister thing.
Yeah, the little sister complex is a thing in that Shiver of Night.
And a trope.
If you can ignore it, great. Right. If you just kind of block it out, that's good. If you can't, you might have trouble watching this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Just forewarning. All right, time for number 7.
Number 7.
Now,
Lucky
this
number
show
7.
is picked up by Sentai Film. Well, actually picked up by Sentai Filmworks and done by Hobby Japan. This is Gisen Yagu. Now, this one is kind of loosely based on the samurai lore.
Hey, dude, would you say that this show has some
Extra thick.
girls
Ladies,
in it?
Yeah. Them girls really are.
Extra thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a whole lot of things.
They also seem to really like, the characters in the show seem to really like some...
Yep, you're definitely going to see that in this show. And out of all the crazy characters, this particular one is the most not safe for work.
Yeah, you know what? This one also has an annoying factor to it because it's the same dumb... I feel like they do the same dumb joke over and over again in this
And
show.
tropes.
Yeah, and tropes, which kind of gets monotonous and annoying. But also, the other thing that I don't like that they do is they always do this joke, and this is in more than one anime, where it is always that stupid thing about... You know what I'm getting to, Dante? You know how Sonic goes, why? Because...
Friendship again.
yeah, I just changed it. Not because you shot me, but because of...
Friendship again.
Yeah, they keep on doing it, and it really sucks. And you know what I say to that, right? If you keep doing, if you are gonna add friendship in every dang story and make it all about friendship, then I'm gonna say, like, look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be like, well, you know what? Friendship makes me sick, and I just want some.
Exactly.
Because I'm sick of friendship, and I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm sure you're thinking this. You're like, every time someone mentions the friendship thing, you're like.
Oh, you think you're big.
Yeah, that's what I always think.
Probably.
It's like, it's not cute anymore. It's just
Exactly.
annoying.
So yeah, guys, if you are interested in the show, definitely check it out. But Gisen, you're okay, but not exactly.
It's like, this dude's like...
Yeah.
And so, guys, we did say this is gonna be controversial. So if you don't feel the same way we do, we understand. Okay.
We totally understand.
Yeah.
We're not gonna.
This is just us.
We're not gonna smite you.
Yeah. I promise you, I won't. And I promise you, even if during this episode I do this, I'm not gonna fly to your house and Kamehameha your house away. Okay.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not Goku Black, so you don't have to worry about that.
I might be Goku Black in disguise.
Maybe,
yeah. I don't
Well,
know.
maybe. All right,
Yeah.
time for number 6. Shiro from Dead Man Wonderland.
Ooh, good series. Now, Shiro, I kind of think of Shiro as an anti-hero because she's not really good, but she's not really evil either. She's kind of between. She's gray, right?
Yeah.
The character. Well, although, you know what? I don't think I ever watched the second season to Dead Man.
Well, of course, in
Wonderland.
the anime, she was known as the Red Man.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is that I don't think, and I don't remember whether, it's been a while, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she was behind all of it. I remember there's someone else actually in the suit behind it.
True.
I can't remember. It's been so long. So if anyone knows.
It might be a little different in the manga, but in the
Yeah.
anime, they made
In
her
the
the
anime,
reason why
yeah.
Ginta is locked up.
Yeah, and if anyone remembers, let us know. Drop a comment or let us know because it's been a while since we've seen it. But I know there's another series that explains how Dead Man Wonderland got started and the whole backstory.
There is a spin-off manga to
Yeah,
this.
I think it has to do with one of the professors in the school, or one of the people in the school was one of the police officers who did something terrible.
Right.
And then that's how it got started, I believe. But there's an anime out there that tells it goes behind the story behind the story, and it tells you how Dead Man Wonderland and the story that we watched,
the
that
conception.
you watched, got started. Yeah,
Right.
how it all got started, which is cool because it means it's cool because it means that the writer actually went into backstory about the characters and did really kind of put a lot into it. Which
Right,
is
that's
cool.
true. And plus, there's so much to Shiro's character in the manga.
But there's
So much more.
I'll say this, right? There's more to certain silver-haired characters. There's more to them than just their silver hair. There's a reason.
Right.
And remember, guys, this is just a top 10 of silver-haired characters. So
one was most requested by fans. So we're doing it for the fans. So Okay, it's time for number 5. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude.
What? I hate this show.
After-
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't stand this show.
I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
But honestly, after the 4th episode, I tried to hang in there, but I ended up tapping out.
Yeah, I was like this, dude. And you guys might know this next show, but I was like this. I was so angry. I just wanted to
Finish him.
by the time it was
finish
over.
her.
Yeah.
And guys, number 5, this is what we're talking about. Anna Nishiki-nomiya from Shimoneta.
Which to me is more like this show is it. Let's just say it smells like this.
That's the plot itself.
Yeah,
Not the show, but that's just the plot.
If you're someone who just wants to watch a bunch of nonsense, and you're a newer generation person who doesn't really care about story or plot, you might want to give this one a try because you might actually like it. To me, how can I put this in? I want to put this in a nice way.
Well,
Let's just say I was lost from the beginning, and like it just didn't really go anywhere for me because by the time they get done,
it's
the story you still have the same issue. And you're like, what the hell?
I think a show like this is loosely based on Japan's law and censorship and how strict they are. And
But
it's one of those goofy...
But the fact that they never even fixed the issue in the end of the show, like they didn't really fix the problem, and they didn't really get rid of it. Their world was still technically right, and
their world was still technically.
Yeah, really.
Much.
And then also the main character, like, so he gets dragged into it, right, and he becomes a part of it, which is stupid because for like in the beginning of the story, he doesn't want anything to do with any of them. So the fact that he gets pulled in, and kind of used as like a,
used as a scapegoat.
Yeah, as a scapegoat for him, and it's kind of stupid. And then in the end, he's like, "Well, you didn't say they didn't solve anything. So like, what's the point in dragging him in and using him as like a secret agent or a scapegoat if they don't accomplish anything?" Yeah. Some of the stories are like it starts nowhere and ends nowhere. And so it is nowhere.
It's a nowhere story.
Yeah, so if you like a nowhere story, check this one out because it is definitely
and if you happen to be a fan of
there's a classification for shows like this. It is one of those.
Oh yeah, dead end plot.
Yeah, well but there's also something else they call them. It is a trash anime. So if you guys ever watch Trash Podcast, shout outs to you, Trash Podcast. You guys are awesome. They talk about trash anime. That's just something you watch because you don't feel like really turning on anything or
because you don't feel like being invested.
You don't feel like being invested in anything. So you just watch a bunch of anime that just is no nonsense.
Basically, trashy entertainment.
Yeah, it's pretty much like watching MTV on a daily basis, right? Jerry Springer, yeah. It's one of those like trash shows. You're like, okay, I really don't give a damn.
Or Maury, whatever.
It's like, why? Because I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
That's terrible. So yeah, if you're like one of those people, then like, yeah, I mean, look, that's your decision, right? We're not gonna.
Hey, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, we're not gonna make fun of you for it. We're just saying.
Yep. So all in all, if you like love nectar and sugar cookies, this is the thing for you.
If you like wet, nasty crotches on people's faces, then this might be for you. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, that actually happened.
Crotch face. It's just like this gives whole new meaning to the word butt face.
Exactly. All right, moving on. That's true. I mean, that was fart face.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, that is a thing in hentai.
Yeah,
there is a thing. Farting on people's. There is a thing. Yeah. Don't ask me why, but that's a thing apparently. People like to fart on people's faces.
Deprived deviants.
Hey, don't look at me, dude. I didn't create it.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
So to that, Dante, I say to that whole series, I say this.
Oh, you think you're big?
You're not.
Exactly.
Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
It's like, you're not. No.
All right, you ready to cleanse your palate with number 4?
Yes, please. I need a brain cleanser.
All right, so number 4 is Echidna. No, not Knuckles.
Yeah, it's funny. You said no, not Knuckles.
Please watch
Why? Because.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, Knuckles was pretty good, but
Knuckles is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
we're just saying, why? Because you thought wrong.
Exactly. But this particular Echidna is basically Echidna from Re:Zero.
Ooh,
she's known as the Witch of Greed.
Interesting show, by the way, and this show is kind of How would you put this, Dante? It's it is one that kind of teaches you something, but it's also a pretty harsh lesson when you look at the way they go through with the show. It also is pretty dark in some parts of it, because there are some moments where like it gets pretty dark.
Subaru dies a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of emotional trauma that happens with
There
him.
is, and dude, it's tough. It's if you're someone who likes the main characters and you have a hard time with them dying a lot, you might have trouble getting through this one.
True.
But it is interesting because they don't really focus so much on the main character himself. They focus more on the lessons to be learned from
what
that
you
he
get
goes
from
through.
it.
Yeah, what you get from it. So all those times he dies, he learns each time from it, and he's able to kind of better. What would you say, dude? Kind of better go through.
I guess kind of better understand the
world that he's
predicaments.
in.
The predicaments that he's
Yeah.
in, or how to handle certain situations like he would normally.
So it's interesting in that aspect, but it is very dark, and it's one of those ones where like you kind of, how can I put it? You kind of, you
kind of feel for him.
Yeah, you feel for him, but you also can't be too latched into the character because
too invested.
Just like Attack on Titan, people die, and
It
might be
just
someone. It might be
happens.
your favorite husbando or girlfriend or whatever, your waifu or whatever, right?
It
So you
just
can't get too
happens.
hooked, otherwise, you're gonna be bawling your eyes out by the
Exactly.
time the show is over.
So Echidna's a pretty curious character. So
she's also devious, dude. I
Yeah.
feel like she has a
I think that's
plan the whole
that's
time.
only because she doesn't really understand the
show.
feeling of others that much
Yeah.
by normal standards. So yeah, she can be perceived that way.
But so are the other characters that are along with her. There's other like gods of that world.
yeah,
that,
there's other witches as well.
Yeah, that are just kind of devious. You feel like they have some kind of plan. Like they're not. How would you say they're evil? Like some of them kind of do seem a little bit
some of them
evil.
some of them are sympathetic,
Yeah.
and some of them may appear to have evil tendencies, but they don't really consider themselves evil.
Evil, yeah. But they can be kind of heartless, or seem like they're a little heartless.
True, they can. But definitely check out the show if you guys haven't gotten a chance.
All right.
Okay.
So this next
Here
one,
we go.
This one is the one.
Here we
This
go.
next show is the one that's all about
Friendship again.
because I don't know. The guy just seems to love
Friendship again.
so many times that you just want to
That's
puke.
basically the mechanic of the entire show.
It's also not only the mechanic of this show, but also the other show that he created, which is also kind of a copy of this show because the characters look very, very similar. Which is Eden Zero. Yeah.
So,
which looks
yeah,
just like this. So
guys.
you guys might know this, and this might be
Yeah,
your favorite
guys.
show. It's called.
This
Dante?
is number 3.
Fairy
Mira Jane from Fairy Tale.
Yes. Now, yes, we understand she's a silver-haired character, but she is so annoying in this show.
Well,
Let's put it that way.
I think for her, I think for her in her case, I honestly think that she was really, really, really underused.
Underused, dude. I feel the exact opposite, Dante. I feel like she's overused. Every time there's a fight, she's like, "Oh, I'm so powerful because I have silver hair and because."
Friendship.
And like the whole show is friendship can do anything,
is,
and I'm like,
exactly.
"No, you're making me sick. Like, stop." And it's just, oh my god.
It's basically the main. It's basically the main mechanic of the entire experience.
The-
So
the other-
basically, what happens is, okay, here's basically what certain people think when they see of this show.
Yeah.
A fight gets ready to happen.
And then she jumps in and poof, the enemy's gone. You're like, really? Like, how can you call
You
yourself?
want to know why I'm able
How-
to beat you?
how can you-
Because
Well, no, okay, so here's the thing, dude. This is what I don't like about Fairy Tale. They introduce a lot of characters, right? And they have a good concept to the show, which is like the whole guild thing and
Yeah.
magic and the powers. Right? Good concept and decent start to the story. But then when you get later on and they introduce you to some of the characters, everyone except for Natsu is a big weakling, and like you're like all the other female characters are like this is like the a female equivalent to Dragon Ball Super, right? Instead of
if all the scenes were girls.
correct, yeah. If every dude in Dragon Ball was a girl, then they'd have superpowers and be able to like destroy half the universe with one
That
finger,
would be
right?
pretty interesting.
This is the same thing, only with way more
Friendship
again, and it's just way more annoying. And you have to get like I got 200 episodes in. And I'm like, I'm so ready to
Yeah,
barf
I'm good.
because of the friendship
I'm
factor.
good.
That like, and then also the other thing that I wasn't a big fan of was the key thing, right? Where all the keys the magic keys for Lucy.
The Zodiac.
I don't know, just it was a good concept, but the idea of using a key to have a creature fight for you seemed like Yu-Gi-Oh all over again. I was like, I don't know, if you're gonna have powers, like make the character actually have like cool powers. Like, don't make him take out keys. You're like, oh, I'm gonna fight you with my keys to my house.
Well, with your car keys.
It's like, I'm gonna swing my keys around and smack you in the head with them.
Hopefully, 100 Years Quest will remove that
Friendship
again
mechanic.
Yeah. And every time they use friendship, dude, I was like, instead of friendship, why don't we replace that with
exactly
and actually make dudes feel like an actual dude? I feel like they flipped the roles, right? It's like, instead of dudes being the dudes, it was the dudes are the females and the females are the dudes. So, dude, if you know that thing in Sekirei, Dante, and also it's in Dandy where there's an episode of Space Dandy where all the boobies disappear from the restaurant and they just show these big muscular
these big macho men.
Yeah, right. I feel like Fairy Tail is that way with the women, right? The guys turn into these sexy, skimpy, wimpy, little like whiny do nothings, and the girls like these giant like bricked flapjack, right? Ladies who look like they're on steroids, and you're like,
yeah.
And it's all because of that whole the whole
friendship again.
Yeah.
All in all, Mira Jane has a mom complex. We already know that. She used to be a gothic bratty teen. Yeah. So
she still is a gothic bratty teen. Man.
She used to be though. In some cases.
However, I can tell you, in 200 episodes, the characters don't change much. They're all
really. There's not really much
they're all
change.
the same pretty much throughout the whole 200 episodes. Now look, okay. We said this is going to be controversial, and you guys may not feel that way. If this is your favorite show, look, we're not poking fun at you directly. We just didn't care for this one. There are certain aspects of the show that
he's still a BLT. So
yeah, I'm still a BLT. So, and I tried. Believe me, I watched the show for 200 episodes. I gave it a shot. I tried. It made me freaking sick to my stomach.
You gotta give him an A for effort, guys.
Yeah, I tried.
You gotta give him an A
I
for
really
effort.
did try. I tried this one. I was like, nope. I was like, I cannot.
As long as you tried.
Yeah, same thing with Eden Zero. I watched all of season 1 of Eden Zero. Really giving it a try. I was like, I'm going to try to stomach it and see if I can get through it. See if I can maybe find something else to get into. Right. Maybe ignore that whole
friendship again.
Yeah. But in the end, I was still like, hey, look, I'm still craving a lot of
exactly. Give me some fights.
And also dudes that actually are like dudes, not that act like wimpy bugs. It's like a cockroach. You're like, if you call yourself a man, then go Super Saiyan and blast somebody, right?
Power up and destroy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so
yeah. So all right. So if you still like her, I know she's waifu material, but yeah, that's.
Oh, this is actually,
all right. Now it's time for number 2.
This next show actually does need another season, Dante.
Yeah, this one does actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for number 2, guys, this is Julie Sigtuna from Absolute Duo.
So you know what's funny, Dante, is that this show got a really bad rating. It's one of the most underrated anime.
What I heard.
Yeah, I don't know why people really hated this one.
I don't know.
And I kind of felt like the show was pretty decent. The only thing I will say about the show that is a little bit of a turnoff is also there is a little bit of a friendship thing in this one, but not as bad as Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I think is kind of not so good about this one is the villain, the bad guy in this show.
Right.
The villain, and like the bad guys in the show could have used a little more work. They could have put a little more into the villains. But I mean, other than that, it wasn't really that bad. There are some things in the show that are a little bit of a turnoff, right? Because there is that whole. There is you get a little bit of an incest kind of feeling from this one.
You mean like that one cat chick?
Yeah, with the one cat and the butt thing. There's that whole shoving things up people's butts thing about this one, yeah. I have to say, this gives a whole new meaning to the word butt face.
Butt plug.
Yeah, butt plug. So there is a little bit of I can see where some people might have been turned off with this one, right? And I can see where people might have hated it. But to be honest, the action story to this one was not bad. Like the powers and like the way they went about the story was not terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, the butt plug chick was weird, and the whole thing about
Some people might like that.
Yeah, I do like. There's some good comedy in this one because you like the stare thing where they're sitting there in class. And she's like staring at him. He's like stare. Yeah, it's funny.
Stare into me.
Yeah,
it's pretty hilarious.
So yeah, I mean, not terrible, but it is a cool. The characters are cool. The weapons were cool too. I like the swords in this.
Oh
one.
yeah,
she has like two really badass swords in this show. She has like two really cool swords.
Yeah.
So the concept for the show wasn't bad. I feel like if they did another season, maybe tweak the maybe do a little bit of tweak, like, because the way they ended the first season, they still could change it in a way where make it go in a maybe more serious direction, and they might maybe do something different with the villain or whatever,
right? Or
just make him a more serious villain. But yeah, they really could have done more of this one, and I feel like it got really underrated by fans. Really hated on it and like didn't.
It got pushed to the side.
Yeah, and like it actually wasn't that bad. It needs another season.
Hopefully somewhere down the line it gets another season. But yeah, definitely check out Absolute Duo if you guys like it.
Absolute Duo. We hope you all reach the state of an absolute duo. Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready for number one?
Oh gosh, yeah. Number one is probably everyone's favorite show, or a lot of people's favorite show. Why? Because boobies.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
Basically, guys, number one is Konako from High School DxD.
Hey, dude, you can say.
Bitch, I'm adorable.
She is. Yeah. She's very adorable.
Hey, dude, and also you could also be like, I'm sure people are probably being like,
oh, you think you're big?
And we would say to that, we'd say,
yeah, I
do. Exactly. Oh yeah. Honestly, after the I'm gonna say after like the first and second series of this episode, out of all the girls there, Konako is probably my favorite.
Really? Wow.
Probably.
Wow, dude, I didn't realize this, but dude, we've been going for 36 minutes now.
It's good. It's a top 10, dude. It's fine.
All right, but 10. Dude, yeah.
I know, but yeah. Yeah, so basically, guys, Konako is from the occult club, demon like Rias. And
you guys probably know the story, the whole DxD story.
Pretty much. And not only that, I think I like her because she got a bit of a Deadpool personality.
So, here's the thing about the character. This is what I kind of like about this character, is that in the beginning, right, she's not really a fan of the whole Issei Kyoto thing, which kind of makes her like, let's put it this way, it makes her a little bit of a hard nut to crack, right?
Exactly.
But it's not overkill, right? They do it in the first couple of things, and yeah, she's kind of a hard ass at first, but then once Issei kind of takes the time to actually get to know the character opens up and does actually become someone who's really awesome. So yeah, she's kind of a pain in the ass at first, but it's not like your normal. It's not like your regular.
It's not like your normal Sundre.
Yeah, Sundre characters. Yeah, and which is kind of cool because you get to know the character better instead of just knowing that hard ass Sakura kind of I'm gonna kick your ass, all the time kind of attitude.
Or like that girl from Mushoku Tensei from the very first season.
Oh my god, yeah, that's the princess, yeah. But okay, so I cannot. Okay, so here's the thing, right? You can't rag too much on Mushoku Tensei because there's a lot of things that Mushoku Tensei does right with that story.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I will agree that she is a terrible bitch.
Yeah.
And I said it in the beginning. That character is a terrible bitch. But with DxD, I don't think that's the case. I think that in DxD the character is holding back because she doesn't want to embrace her actual powers.
Right.
Because later on in DxD, when she does, she's kind of cutesy and kind of more bubbly and fun.
Right.
And she's not as
not as mean as.
She's not as harsh and not as kind of. She doesn't really care as much. I mean, she's kind of more loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey.
Yeah, but that wisecrack side is still there, though.
Yeah, well, which is fine, right? Because it's funny, right?
Yeah,
when she makes her wisecracking. So she pokes fun at Issei a lot.
Of course.
Thing. But yeah, it's not as like... She's not as brutal as she is in the beginning of the show.
True.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's pretty much our 10... girls.
But yeah, I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't say that Konako is one of the characters I like more than some of the other characters in DxD, but she wouldn't be my favorite character in High School DxD. In fact, I don't think there is really. I really have.
Did you really have a favorite in there?
She's probably the only one of the only characters in DxD who I actually like.
The most decent ones?
Yeah, she's not a bad person, but at the same time, she's also not the worst character in DxD. I think the thing I most like about her is that she doesn't encourage the characters to keep doing what they do, because throughout the entire DxD, right, nobody stops Issei. They're just like, oh, they're like, sure, just do whatever the hell you want. You can just rape me behind a tool shed if you really feel like it. they don't actually like.
Okay, Zenobia's kind of like that.
Yeah,
she's like that.
Instead of trying to discourage him from doing stuff, right? They just kind of encourage him, and you're like, no, that's bad. Like, stop encouraging him. It's not good.
Exactly.
Like, it's like, yeah, you want him to become powerful, but not like that. That's not. Being a powerful pervert is a dangerous thing. Let's put it that way.
Ask Jiraiya.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so I guess that'll pretty much wrap it up with our
anyway,
top
guys,
10. So
if you guys have different opinions, let us know. Drop a
let us
comment,
know.
or speak up and say something. You know?
Yeah, or if you have a favorite, if one of these 10 girls is your favorite,
or maybe you guys felt the same way we do.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Maybe you might have a BLT type.
Maybe you're like me. You just like a well polished story.
Exactly. You don't like bologna sandwich stories.
Yeah, and you don't like dusty furniture.
Exactly.
Of
course. All right, dude. So I guess we're ready to wrap this one up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, go for it.
Alrighty. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we have run to Jowish.
Yep. And no more friendship.
Yes, no more
Friendship.
Friendship again.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's
All
get
right,
out of here.
peace.
Later, guys.